Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really getting into some foundational concepts, stuff that's absolutely crucial if you're studying leisure and tourism management.
Exactly. And we're doing this specifically with your materials in mind, the articles, the research, the notes you provided. Our goal is to sort of distill the key stuff for you.
Yeah, the mission is simple, really. Cut through the jargon, pull out the core insights from these sources, and help you build a really solid foundation in service marketing.
Because let's face it, in leisure and tourism, knowing how to craft those memorable, valuable experiences, well, that's everything, isn't it? These concepts are basically your toolkit.
In fact, we should mention this content is actually a core part of the lecture service marketing given by Professor Auerbach at Stralsund University of Applied Sciences in Germany.
So it's foundational knowledge being taught right now, knowledge that will definitely serve you well as you move forward in the field.
Okay, so let's dig in. The sources start right at the beginning,
Yeah.
defining marketing itself. And it's pretty clear it's not just, flogging hotel rooms or tours.
No, definitely not. The material really emphasizes that marketing, at its core, is about creating genuine value for customers. And importantly, building relationships that last.
So identifying needs, anticipating them, satisfying them profitably. It's a two-way thing.
It's exactly a two-way street. And running through all of this, the sources really hammer home this idea of customer focus, that it's the absolute cornerstone.
Right. But what does customer-focused actually mean in practice?
Well, it means intentionally putting the customer, their needs, their wants, their behavior right at the heart of, well, every decision the business makes.
Designing everything around them.
Precisely. The service itself, how you communicate it, everything.
Okay, so if that's customer focus, then customer orientation. That takes it a step further, is that right?
Yeah, think of customer orientation as embedding that focus deep into the organization's culture, like its DNA.
Oh, okay.
The sources describe it as a culture where all departments, not just the marketing folks, are aligned and committed to delivering that superior customer value. It's a whole company mindset.
That sounds incredibly important, especially in the kind of markets you're preparing for, these hyper-competitive markets the sources talk about.
Oh, absolutely vital. You've got rapid change, intense competition.
So how does that customer orientation help a tourism business, say, survive and thrive there?
Well, it becomes a key differentiator, you see. When products or services can be easily copied, which happens a lot in tourism,
Right.
the experience you deliver becomes the battleground. A truly customer-oriented business can adapt faster, it can anticipate what customers will want next, and it builds loyalty that's, frankly, hard for competitors to break.
Makes sense.
And the sources mention strategies like continuous innovation, speed to market, building customer intimacy, all fueled by really understanding the customer.
And you need a map for all that, right?
Right.
The sources mention the marketing plan briefly.
Right. The marketing plan is essentially that strategic roadmap.
Yeah.
You start by analyzing the market. Who are your customers? What are competitors up to? What trends matter?
Okay.
And from that analysis, you define your strategy. Segmentation, who are you serving? Targeting who specifically, and positioning, how do you want them to see you?
And then the marketing mix comes in to execute that.
Exactly. You use your marketing mix, all your tactical tools to achieve those objectives. It gives structure to the whole process.
Okay, so groundwork laid. Marketing equals value in relationships, driven by customer focus and orientation, super important in competitive tourism, and guided by a plan. Let's zero in now on customer centricity.
Yes, and the sources make a clear distinction here. Customer centricity isn't just presented as a strategy for the marketing team.
No.
No, it's defined as a fundamental business philosophy, a mindset. It means prioritizing the customer isn't just one thing you do. It's the guiding principle for, well, pretty much everything the business does.
That feels like a major shift from, say, older ways of running a business.
It really is.
Right.
Traditionally, many businesses were more product-centric. They focused on what they could make or sell.
Right. Build it and they will come.
Sort of, yeah. Customer centricity flips that. It says business success flows from creating value for the customer. And thus to stress, you need to understand the whole customer journey,
From start to finish.
From the very first inkling they might need something, right through to post-purchase follow-up, and using data constantly to see how that journey is going and where it can be improved.
So what do the sources highlight as the key principles? What does customer centricity look like day to day?
Okay, several key things stand out. First, customer understanding. That's non-negotiable. Deep research, actively seeking feedback, using data analytics to really know your customer.
Got it.
Then personalization. Tailoring things, communications, offers. Think about a hotel remembering you like a quiet room, or a tour company suggesting trips based on your past interests.
Okay, yeah, that makes a difference. And customer experience, CX. That must be huge in tourism.
Absolutely critical. The sources are clear. Every interaction, every touch point needs to be seamless, positive. Not just fixing problems, but proactively ensuring quality.
And it's about the long game, too.
Definitely. That's the long-term value focus, looking beyond one sale to build relationships. That increases customer lifetime value, or CLV. And retaining customers is way cheaper than constantly finding new ones.
Makes sense. And you mentioned earlier, it needs everyone on board.
Precisely. Cross-functional alignment is the last key principle mentioned. Customer centricity needs marketing, sales, operations, even HR and finance, all pulling in the same direction, delivering customer value together.
You can't have the front desk promising one thing and operations delivering another.
Exactly. It falls apart quickly.
So understanding those principles is one thing. But why does this philosophy actually pay off? What are the concrete benefits for, say, a hotel or tour operator?
Oh, the benefits are pretty compelling according to the sources. Firstly, increased customer loyalty. Customers who feel understood, feel valued, they come back, they become advocates.
Word of mouth.
Powerful stuff. This leads directly to higher profitability. Like we said, retention is cheaper. Loyal customers often spend more over time, and churn goes down.
It also sounds like it gives you a real edge over competitors.
Absolutely. A superior customer experience becomes a massive competitive advantage, especially when basic services are similar. It builds trust, generates positive reviews, which improves your brand reputation.
And helps you innovate better.
Yes. Listening closely to customers gives you invaluable insights for better innovation. You develop new services or tweak existing ones based on what people actually want and need.
And because it's about building relationships, it's not a one-off project.
Not at all. It's an ongoing commitment. The sources talk about strategies for building long-term relationships, things like consistent communication, proactive support.
Getting ahead of problems.
Exactly. And having proper feedback loops, actually collecting and acting on feedback, offering value-added services, and crucially, building trust and transparency. Being honest, especially when things aren't perfect.
The material also mentioned the service profit chain model somewhere in there.
Ah, yes. It's a related idea the sources bring up. It basically highlights the link between how you treat your employees, their satisfaction, their training.
The internal stuff.
Right. The internal service quality, which then impacts the external service quality delivered to customers, and that drives customer satisfaction, loyalty, and ultimately profitability. Happy staff, happy customers, healthy business, it's all connected.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So we've got the mindset, the philosophy. Now, how do you actually do it? The sources introduced the marketing mix. We hear about the 4 Ps, but apparently for services, that's not quite enough.
Exactly right. The traditional 4 Ps product, price, place, promotion, they were developed primarily for tangible goods, things you can touch and see.
Like a car or a can of beans.
Precisely. But services, they're different. They're intangible. You can't touch a hotel stay beforehand. They're variable. A tour guide can have an off day. And the customer is often part of the service creation. The 4 Ps don't fully capture all that complexity.
So we need more Ps for services.
We do. The service marketing mix adds 3 more. People, process, and physical evidence. These additions help address the unique challenges of marketing and delivering services. So we get the 7 Ps.
The 7 Ps. Okay, let's unpack those, especially thinking about how they apply to you in leisure and tourism. Starting with the first P, product.
Okay. So in a service context, the product is the service offering itself, the experience. Since it's intangible, the focus shifts to designing that service. Well, what are the steps? What's included? And service quality becomes paramount.
Quality meaning.
Things like reliability, does the tour run as scheduled? Responsiveness, how quickly do staff help? Assurance, do they seem knowledgeable and trustworthy? The value isn't in owning something, it's in the experience and the outcome, the fun, the relaxation, the memories.
Okay, next, price.
Price, yeah. It reflects perceived value, but it's often more complex for services. Partly because of that variability, partly intangibility. The sources mention different strategies, cost-based, value-based.
Pricing based on the benefit.
Exactly. And critically for tourism, dynamic pricing. Think airline tickets, hotel rooms, prices changing based on demand when you book, that sort of thing. And your price has to align with your brand positioning. A luxury resort needs a price that signals that quality.
Makes sense. Then place. How customers get the service.
Right. For services, place is often where the service is actually delivered and consumed. The hotel itself, the theme park, the restaurant, but it's also the channels used to access it physically, like a travel agent's office or digitally.
Websites, apps.
Exactly. Websites for info and booking, mobile apps, online travel agencies, these are all crucial places now. Convenience and accessibility, both physical and digital, are key.
And promotion, getting the word out.
Yes, and because services are intangible, promotion has a big job to do in building trust and reducing the perceived risk for the customer.
Making the invisible visible, kind of.
That's a good way to think about it. Using tools like advertising, but focusing on benefits, maybe testimonials from other customers, sales promotions, PR, digital marketing to engage people. It's all about helping customers understand and feel confident about the experience they'll get.
Okay, now for the extra 3 Ps for services. First up, people.
People. Hugely important. Arguably the most critical P in tourism and hospitality. Your frontline staff, the receptionist, the waiter, the tour guide, the flight attendant.
They are the service, often.
In many cases, yes. Their attitude, their skills, their motivation directly shape the customer's experience and perception of quality. The sources really stress the importance of recruitment, training, empowerment, keeping employees happy. It links right back to that service profit chain.
Right. Okay, next, process.
Process refers to the systems and procedures involved in delivering the service, how things actually work.
Like the booking system, check-in.
Exactly. Booking, check-in, check-out, how food orders are taken, how complaints are handled, the sequence of activities on a guided tour. The process needs to be designed to be efficient, consistent, and high quality.
Smooth processes mean happy customers.
Definitely. A slick online booking or a fast, friendly check-in makes a huge difference. A clunky, frustrating process does the opposite. And the sources note managing customer involvement in the process, like using a self-service kiosk, is also part of this.
Okay, last P, physical evidence. If the service is intangible, what's the evidence?
Good question. Physical evidence refers to all the tangible cues customers use to evaluate the service, especially before they buy or experience it. It helps manage perceptions.
So the environment.
Yes, the physical environment is a big part. The cleanliness of a hotel room, the decor of a restaurant, the ambience, the signage, but also other tangible items, brochures, tickets, staff uniforms.
And online counts, too.
Absolutely. Increasingly, your digital presence is key physical evidence. The quality and usability of your website, the photos you use, online reviews, and ratings from other customers. All these tangible cues shape expectations and build trust in the intangible service.
Wow. Okay, so the 7 Ps really do give you that full picture for services. Much more complete.
Exactly. It's a holistic framework. Mastering these 7 Ps helps you strategically design and deliver service experiences that hopefully meet or even exceed what your customers expect. It really is an essential toolkit for anyone going into service industries like leisure and tourism.
And that brings us right back to why we're focusing on this today, specifically for you listening.
Right. This deep dive into marketing fundamentals, customer centricity, the 7 Ps, it's not just theoretical stuff. It's highly relevant to your studies now and, more importantly, to your future careers in this sector.
So let's wrap up this deep dive. Looking back at the sources, we've pulled out the core idea of marketing focusing on value in relationships. We've explored that crucial mindset of customer centricity and its very real benefits.
And we've unpacked the 7 Ps, that practical framework you need to actually design and deliver outstanding service experiences.
And really getting to grips with these principles, applying them, putting the customer first, and mastering how services work, that's going to be key to your success in leisure and tourism.
No doubt about it. It's a competitive field, and this understanding gives you an edge.
So here's a final thought for you to take away and maybe mull over as you continue your studies. How will you specifically use these concepts, this deep focus on the customer, the detailed understanding of the 7 Ps? How will you use them not just to do what's always been done, but to actually innovate?
Yeah, how will you create genuinely new, remarkable, truly valuable experiences for people traveling and seeking leisure?
That's the challenge, isn't it? And the exciting part.
It really is.
Absolutely. Well, if you found this deep dive useful, and if you're interested in us tackling more topics from your service marketing materials, please do let us know.
Yeah, leave a comment. We'd genuinely love to hear from you and potentially continue these deep dives covering your course content.
Until next time.